Hi, welcome to my channel. Do you know how much time are you spending doing your daily activities? Do you know why you're spending all that time with those certain things? Lately, I've been thinking it's important to know what's consuming most of our time, because one of the things it also taught me is where my struggles are. Like certain things, like when it comes to school, for example, like, or learning things, like some of us can be really slow. We learn slower. It takes us more time to learn things. That's why certain tasks take us longer to do, because it takes us longer to learn. And that makes things harder, because like some people, they can get a lot more done than others within a certain time frame. And there are people that no matter how early they get up, no matter how committed they are, they end up not making a lot of progress. And that's because of things that they deal with, like internally, that affects how they handle things on the daily basis. And was one of the ways to know is what is affecting your progress, affecting how you're doing things on the daily basis, is to track how much time you're spending on certain things every day. Sometimes you don't realize how long you have been spending doing certain things that you didn't intend for it to be that long, but because you just do it without actually know, you just do it, so you don't keep track of how long you're doing it. So you're actually consuming way too much time, or a certain amount of time, on something that you really didn't want. So we need to know how much time we're spending doing things, so that we can know where we need to correct, or we can maybe know where we need to, so we can know also where we need to make necessary adjustments, so that things can work out better the way we want. Because there are things that consume our time that really shouldn't. You shouldn't, because it doesn't better our lives in any way. One of the things I would also say to challenge ourselves is to look at the screen time. Like at the end of the day, maybe look at the screen time to see how much time we're spending on the electronic devices, and to see exactly where. Like narrow it down. Like know how long, know the time, but also understand why, and then like narrow it down, like by like making a plan to get yourself out of that. Because once you know, then the best thing to do is to take action in a way that you know works best for you. Realistically, be realistic with the plans that you make, because you know yourself. You know like what would tempt you, so make sure that is. The other thing is like, know how you're spending your time, but also know how you're spending your money. Like, just like time, how we just do things sometimes, we also like just spend sometimes, and we don't know where our money is going most of the time. So we just buy. Like sometimes you just buy and you put that card or that money, and you don't think about like how much this cost. But having a way to look back, like look at your bank statement, keep track of what you're buying, be intentional about how you buy things, because especially nowadays, we have to be careful with these two things, with our time and our money. Of course, there's other things, but I want to focus this video on these two things. So yeah, and the first step to making any type of change is to know what you need to change. It's to acknowledge what needs to change. So to do that, you got to know what's going on. That's why you need to monitor your time, what you're doing, and think for yourself what you really want. If the way what you have discovered is what you would want for yourself, because part of why you're not moving forward is because your time is not intentional, is not being used in a way that would get you to where you want to go, or is not the way that helps whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So, and also that goes with money. There's a lot of things that some of us like are emotional when it comes to spending. It's like when somebody like emotional eating. There's so like also, I think there's also that with buying stuff. Sometimes you just want to buy sometimes even when we know it's not the best decision at that moment, but because of our emotional state, to be like, I know I don't have a lot of money, but I'm just gonna go and buy food anyways because of how we're feeling. So knowing, like, if you know that most of your money goes for food, then what I would recommend with that is to think about how much you really eat in the day, and to think about, like, try to think about your feelings at those times. Try to track down why you eat that way. If it's something that you notice that happens because of how you're feeling in the moment, like it's one of those things that help you overcome whatever emotion that you're feeling, then you know that that's an area that you need to work on. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying this just to say that when you understand these two things, why they happen, then it can help you understand what you need to do to, to change things for the way that you think and know it's healthier for you, better for you, so that you can, live the life that you want. That's all I'm saying here. It's just to encourage. It's not to look down on anybody or anything like that. No, that's not at all that what it is. I was just thinking, I thought maybe I would share this, but at the end of the day, everybody with their own thing, you know what's best for you. I just use like eating and all this as an example because that's what I can think of right now at the moment as I'm filming this. But as always, I don't know what's best for anybody. I know myself, and I can say things and do things my way, and everybody else watching this, do what you know is best for you at the end of the day. We all got this. Woo.